So I asked him, he was, during the civil rights era, big old civil rights activist, NAACP, the whole nine. And I asked him, I said, Grandpa, like, you always tell me I'm Native American, but we support NAACP, we call ourselves black. He's like, well, we just had to do that because we had to transition or we wouldn't have survived. And I was sitting there thinking, like, man, because they call you all these names and stuff. And he was like, well, he told me the whole history. He was like, you got family out of Virginia, out of was it Christiansburg up there where Virginia college is at. I think it's with Christiansburg up there in Virginia.
Yeah,
But
I know it's that. I know it's
yeah,
that Christopher. I know it as
yeah,
that.
I got out. I came out of that
That's
section over
down in my
there.
Blacksboro, huh?
Yeah, it's northern Virginia, like going
Yeah,
towards north. It's in the middle. Long story
right.
short, he told me that Cherokee, Muskogee Creek, and he made sure to split the two. He's like Muskogee and Creek are two different ones, and he explained it to me on that end. And I just was fascinated. And he told me where my great grandmother came out of. She was in a Cherokee tribe. The plantation took her over to took her over there to babysit. You know what that means. So man, after that, she ran back to her tribe. Was gone for like 10 years. Took her kids with her. She came back and she was so upset. She found the darkest man that was on the plantation at the time, and nobody in that plantation was, of African descent. They say that because of how dark people was, but we know everybody in the South that look like us. They either go from like when I get dark in the summertime, I look like my name should be Baljeet or something. That's how dark I get. I get maroon in the summer. I don't get black. I turn maroon. My skin is like real red tinted, real copper colored.
You like
So
me?
yeah,
You like
yeah,
you see I'm all red, huh?
yeah, yeah.
I'm red as hell.
So long
But
story,
anyway, I'm more
long
red
story
than
short,
anything.
exactly.
Shit.
Long
But
story,
I don't sunburn. I don't get any sunburns
nah,
at
I
all.
don't, I
So
don't.
don't get it twisted.
Yeah, I don't sunburn or nothing. But long story short, he told me everything about that. And then my grandma, she Cherokee too on that side. On my mom's side. On my dad's side is Blackfoot and Cherokee. His family came out of Chicago, where the Blackfoot are. Most of them were originally from out of that region, out of northern Mississippi River, going into Chicago. Um, and he told me that one of my ancestors. I found out through doing my ancestry, and my brother he told me that one of my ancestors was one of the first people to create uh, the first black record label. And without that, we wouldn't have all the artists we have today. We wouldn't have a Motown. We wouldn't have none of that.
Ah,
So he had really light skin, but he could white pass. Back then they called it white passing. But
right.
his hair, all my relatives' hair, I mean, I got waves, but all my relatives' hair look like this on top of their head without the perm.
Wow.
So on both sides of my family, my brother, they think every time I go to Florida, they think I was from the Dominican Republic. They speak Spanish to me. Hola, papi, to go. I was like, I don't know what the fuck y'all
they, they,
saying.
they, they speak Spanish to me too. Some of them think I'm
You know what I'm
Spanish.
saying? They thought my
No, no,
mom.
no, no. I ain't no Spanish, brother. I don't know what you're
They,
talking about.
they thought my mom was Puerto Rican because her hair is
I
real
didn't have
long.
French people speak French to me too.
That's what I'm saying. Like they don't know where I'm from. It's like I tell people I'm from West Virginia. It's like you don't sound country. I'm like I'm who I am. Like none of my family members sound like hey y'all. Like we ain't out there. You know what I'm saying? But we in like in the city and stuff. But they thought my mom was Puerto Rican. I was like my mom is native. We call each other black, but we native. And
Right.
it was just crazy to me because my dad told me that his grandma, who took care of him, she used to brush her hair with a porcupine brush, and her hair was to the floor. Now I used to talk to her, and she used to have like the old school tobacco, and she would actually dip tobacco. It was crazy to think about, but back in her days when she was younger, she used to dip tobacco and everything. And she was a funny old lady, but she was in her 90s when she passed away, and that was when I was a little kid. But she would tell me how she would go in her backyard, ground. She would do all kinds of stuff, and she had her own little tribe and own little sector in West Virginia because most people came over to West Virginia for coal and stuff like that. They brought us over for coal. A lot of people in West Virginia, uh, if I know the history correctly, the colonizers came in, seen us on the Charleston. It's called the Kanawha River. It's a Native American tribe. It's called the Kanawha tribe. Um, I wasn't part of that tribe, but this is the history of it. So they came in and they seen them on the riverbed, and they had one of the big trees. So back in the day, we didn't have them baby trees we see now. We had the sequoias that's over there. We had them
Yep.
over here. They used to be so big that you couldn't fit three of me across. I'm 6'4". You couldn't fit three doors width going this way. That's how wide the trees was. So
Mm-hmm.
they had cut one of those trees
Oh,
down.
you and me built the same, bro.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Cut the trees down, stuck it in the water, and they scooped the water out and was getting the salt out the riverbed and then using it to salt their meat. To this day, there's a sulfur plant on the river that was from those natives. They came in, got their, peace and allegiance and all that stuff, then betrayed them and then took over the river. And from there on out, it's just a whole bunch of crazy stuff. Like there's so much history. Like in West Virginia, there's a place called Moundsville, and it has over I think 100 something mounds.
I know.
And
I've been
so
in them.
yeah,
I
so
done
over
some. I
there,
done some of my work in them. I gets
yeah,
out the truck, and it's very scary being in some of y'all mountains because, especially
they look
when you're
like
driving an
pyramids. Though.
18 wheeler.
They look like pyramids. All of them, the mountains are like triangles, like perfect
Right.
triangles. Some places, but
We
And
need
let me
some.
tell you something.
We need some footage,
I
fam.
have my children, and myself. If they didn't think, my children have to deal with people thinking they biracial and they're not. They don't have a biracial bloodline in them. The people used to think I was biracial, and I'm not biracial. I have a melanated mother and a melanated father, and
Yep.
people get weird when they see my children. They see all of us. It ain't till they see me and my wife together they'll notice that. Well, that no, they're not biracial. I just think that our bloodlines we come in all different shapes and forms. Our women have the Eve gene. They produce the Eve gene. So we get a lighter color Indian. We got a darker color Indian. We just got so many different types of a difference of us. You know what I'm saying? And plus, I am a Creole Indian, so I guess that would make a little bit more sense. But my Creole part has Haitian in it, okay, and French. Now, let's not get it twisted. French people were black too, okay? so the very first Frenchmen were melanated, okay? So let's not get it twisted. All the very first people were melanated. Okay, so let's not act like these people just come up in here and just made you all what you are, you know. So
right.
I learned so much from being on this app with so many great people. I thought YouTube 504. I thought YouTube was great, but it's like we even meet more people. The algorithm moves a little bit more faster here. It's like people catch on very fast.
Yeah.
I don't use them all the time. I don't use them all the time, my brother. I don't even use the hashtag because sometimes you use hashtags and it'll bring your ass to it'll bring your ass to getting suspended. I
This
don't
is my
use all that
this is
hashtag because they got my videos suspended by using that.
this is my little brother.
That's all
That's you,
you,
bro.
OG.
That's my
Who is
little
that?
brother.
That's your grandfather?
No, that's my little brother.
Oh, I'm about to say your grandfather look good.
Nah.
Yeah,
I'm
he
gonna show
do.
you. I can show you my grandpa. Hold on. You flip the camera
So
back.
you like me? You like me? You got a brother that's darker. I got a
Yeah.
brother. We like chocolate and vanilla.
Yep. Yep.
And look, my children, none of us have nothing on our birth certificates. Nothing. Even my wife, we don't have. She don't even have it. I don't know what it is about Louisiana. People in Louisiana don't have that on nothing on their birth certificate.
That's crazy. That's how the system worked, though. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm. That's how we got
It,
reclassified the first time.
yep. I'll show you. This is my grandparents right here. This is my great grandpa right here. This is my grandpa, and then
Wow,
this is my grandma over here. But that's her hair. You can't really tell. I can't zoom in.
Yep.
wow.
I go over
If our
here.
women would just let
That's
it
that's his
grow.
real hair. He had his hair all the way up until he died. And he was in
Yeah.
his 80s,
Let me see
Hmm.
if I can find a picture of my mama.
and that's my
I
my
don't.
great.
Let me
That's
see
my
if I can get
grandpa.
this
His
background.
hair.
I don't think I ever done this. from the background. Let me see.
Mhm.
See if I can show some pictures myself.
But yeah,
My
man,
pops the
it's
same way
crazy.
though. He going in his 80s and he got a head full of hair.
Head full of hair. It's crazy. People
But
wouldn't think that.
his dad was bald. It's weird. His dad was balding, but he might have got it from his mom's side.
Yep.
But yeah, your pops got a head full of hair. I do. I got a head full of hair.
My great grandma, she we call her Granny, but
Mhm.
she basically she tells stories about how all her brothers looked. It was my skin complexion. They was all short and cut up, but they didn't have no facial hair or
Okay,
nothing.
this is my mama, y'all.
Mhm.
She passed away. She was my mother died at 77. I'm at 74 years old of breast cancer, but
Oh
she
man,
was a Cherokee. My mother was a Cherokee. My dad was Chata. But that's
that's how
that's my mother right there.
that's how
And
my mom.
that's
Mhm.
my mother had straight natural hair. That
Yep.
was my
Yep.
that's my beautiful mother right there. And I'm gonna show y'all a little bit of course, show a little bit about Chief. You know what I'm saying?
I could see the resemblance too, Peanut. Mom
Yep.
was beautiful.
Oh yeah, she's we have the same skin complexion.
Mhm.
Um, that's the
I lost
she's a
I
Creole
lost my
lady.
mom I lost my mom from breast cancer too.
Yeah, that was a hurting. That's the most hurting
Man,
moment
man.
of my life, man.
On my birthday too.
Mm.
That's one of
Condolences.
the most hurting moments that I mean I don't wish that on anybody to lose their mama. You know.
Nobody. Even the ones that call us wobbles, I wouldn't wish that on nobody.
No, I don't wish that on none of them. I
Exactly.
don't want to see nobody
Mm-mm.
Exactly.
nobody family hurt. You know what I'm saying? That's the
Mhm.
as y'all can see,
Yep.
Look at
as
this dude.
you can
Look at
see,
Peanut with that little
that's
baby.
me back in the days, and that's my son. That's
Where you get that baby from, boy? You didn't make that baby. Where you get that baby from, boy? Look at him looking at you too. He looking right at you. He know who his daddy is.
Yep.
yeah, and this is my oldest son now,
That's a big difference.
and
He
I'm gonna
might be
show
able to
you.
take you, Peanut. I think he can take you. Nah,
That's
I'm
one
just
of my
kidding.
little one. This is one of my little guys. That's one of my little guys.
Handsome, handsome
And
man.
that's not, and they're not biracial. I just want y'all to know they're not biracial. That's my other boy.
Hmm.
They're not biracial, okay? I'm gonna show you their mother.
I'm about to
So,
say because all I'm seeing is Peanut. Let me see if I can see the mom in some of them.
y'all give me 1 second. I'm gonna show you my wife. Okay, good. That's my wife right there.
Oh yeah,
That's
yeah.
a that's a
I can
whole
see it.
Cherokee there.
I can see it. They got a skin color.
Yep.
The rest of them is Peanut.
That's my boys in the background.
Look at them
Here
red
my
skins.
brothers.
Look at all them red skins sitting back in there, sitting in that back seat.
That's standing. Oh wait, shoot. I guess it's too tall.
Are they
Yep.
Indians, Peanut? Are they wild Indians?
Oh, they wild Indies.
Yeah, we like wild rice, huh? Yeah, we all wild.
And I think let me see what my second oldest son if I can show this picture. Um, I'm gonna do this on the porch.
This is my great grandpa, and then this is his relative right here who had the first record
Look,
label.
I got to break off for a second, y'all. I got a call coming through. I'm gonna call y'all right back. Okay, I'm gonna come right
No
back on.
problem.
All
No
right, bet.
problem.